This conference will now be recorded.
States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there any additions or deletions?
No, there's not.
Okay.
I mean, we accept the agenda as written.
Second.
Okay, it's tied second. Okay, it's been moved second. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Recognition of visitors.
We approve the agenda and the deletions, additions and deletions. We
Your
approve.
deletion?
Did we approve the agenda?
Approve the agenda.
Yeah, we just did.
Okay.
Aye.
Okay, recognition of visitors.
Yeah.
Presentation of the Medal of Valor Award to Lieutenant Detective Jason Legleiter.
Come on. That's all you know. All right.
Right, maybe no one told me.
Mayor and Commissioners, thank you for your time this evening. The Medal of Valor is the highest award bestowed upon a department member. It is presented to a member who performs an exceptionally valorous act. This act must display outstanding bravery, intelligence, or devotion to the duty at the risk of great personal danger without regard to the member's personal safety while protecting life or property, preventing criminal acts, or apprehending criminals. On April 22nd, 2023 at 10:59 a.m., a vehicle containing two females stopped around the area of 111th Road and 72nd Road in Cali County. One female exited the vehicle and shot a vehicle behind them. Thankfully, no one was injured in this incident. The two females then sped away in their vehicle. Approximately half an hour later, Cali County Dispatch received a call of a woman yelling while swinging around a pistol and a machete in the 1300 block of North A Street. Lieutenant Detective Jason Legleiter arrived first on scene. He quickly located a female armed with a pistol, a machete, and at one point had a hammer. Lieutenant Legleiter approached her and initiated a conversation with her in order to resolve this volatile situation quickly and peacefully. The female was swinging the weapons around and was making a variety of threats as she pointed the pistol at Lieutenant Legleiter. Yet he stood firm and attempted to talk her down while protecting the public and attempting to maintain officer safety. When it became clear he would not be able to resolve this dangerous situation on the first interaction, he disengaged in conversation and coordinated with arriving officers to ensure a solid perimeter was set up to keep officers and the public safe. In the face of a quickly evolving and dangerous situation, Lieutenant Detective Legleiter was able to act fast and make intelligent decisions to ensure that there was no threat to the public. Numerous department members and officers from other agencies quickly responded to help. It is due to Lieutenant Detective Legleiter's decisive and brave actions, as well as a multitude of other responding officers, that both females were taken into custody without incident. Detective Legleiter later stated that he felt he was going to be shot or would have been forced to shoot the female, which didn't occur. Please join me in thanking Jason for his courageous and outstanding bravery in serving the citizens of Arkansas City. For Jason. And also, I'd like to have Marcy Legletter, Jason's wife, come up and present him with his medal and a pin for his uniform.
Which I don't have. Thank you. Thank you guys very much.
Good. Thank you, Jake.
Larry, did that lady ever go to trial? What happened?
I would have, that's a while back. I would have to ask Christian. The case is done, yes.
Okay.
Here's our assistant county attorney, Mr. Paisley. He can probably answer that.
Do you remember,
Deputy, I'm sorry.
do you remember
How that,
asking
how that case,
It's still pending.
is it? I thought that was done.
It's still
I must have been
pending.
thinking about it.
Yep.
All right,
As of right now, it's still pending.
there's the man.
Thank
all right, thank you, sir. Consent agenda.
I move we approve the consent agenda as written.
Second.
Page been moved to second. Consent agenda approve the March 15, 2024 regular meeting minutes as written. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. City manager department.
Item number 1, a resolution authorizing the city of Arkansas City to enter into an agreement with Aging Projects, Inc., API, for provision of nutritional services at the Senior Citizen Center, term effective October 1, 2023 to September 30, 2024.
So this is just renewing a current agreement we have with Aging Project that dates back to 2015 on the current one. And then like in the purpose, it says it goes through September 30th of 2024. At that point, we're going to we'll kind of like renegotiate or visit the terms again. My understanding is the staff at Aging Project is completely new. They have complete turnover there. So they're kind of that learning curve. And so we'll look at this again then. But this is just just renewing what's currently in place. And they help pick up some costs of the labor and meal costs over the Senior Citizen Center.
I was talking to Randy earlier, and we might want to bring our director in that talk to her about how she feels about, this group too. I know way back when Nick Hernandez was here, we had some problems, and I can't remember if we changed to another group or I can't, it's been too long ago, but whatever it was, we had some problems and he finally got it straightened out. But, probably wouldn't hurt to, talk to her about it too, because she's right there, deals with them every day and stuff.
And this is supposed to be renewed every year, and we've missed it for the last 9.
Well, it was set up in 2015, it was set up on an auto renewal. So it basically auto renewal.
Oh, unless something happened.
Unless
Okay.
one of the entities changed that.
Gotcha.
So apparently we've set it auto renew every year.
Right.
It was a problem with the previous manager before Kristen took over. That's all that we did back then.
Right. Well, that being said, I'll make a motion, a resolution authorizing the city of Arkansas City to enter into an agreement with the Aging Projects, Inc., API, for the provisions of the nutritional services for the Senior Citizen Center terms effective October the 1st, 2023 to October 30th, 2024.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and second. Any other discussion on it? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Fire and EMS department.
Item number 1, a resolution authorizing the city of Arkansas City to purchase 2 Zoll X Series Advanced cardiac monitor defibrillators from Zoll Medical Corporation of Chelmsford, Massachusetts for an amount not to exceed $95,000.
Mayor, Commission, we purchased 2 of these monitors last year and we budgeted for 2 more this year. Our current 2 that these will replace have exceeded their life expectancy and we can't upgrade the software anymore. So they last usually 6 to 8 years. You can usually get out of them. We've really pushed the limit on these 2, but they still work.
The question we always got to ask, this is in the budget for this year.
Yes, sir. It was budgeted for this year.
And since we have 2 of them already, are you satisfied with their performance?
When I came here, they used Zoll and it interchanges with the hospital equipment because the hospital ER also uses Zoll equipment. And then we have our mechanical CPR machine and our ventilator, and those are all Zoll products as well. So.
Does that have the band that goes over your chest?
The auto pulse, that's the mechanical CPR.
Yeah.
You know, we've had 12 code blues since the 1st of January with 3 code blue saves that left the hospital neurologically intact.
Yeah.
So one was the
Nice to hear.
little boy, I believe, Children's Mercy was here a few weeks ago. Had it not been for those pieces of equipment, the outcome could have been different.
Well, it's all about the safety for people in Arkansas City, you know, I mean, we got to have it, you know, for their safety.
If we got to have it, then I'll make a motion for a resolution authorizing the city of Arkansas City to purchase 2 Zoll X Series Advanced cardiac, the price got me. Cardiac monitor defibrillators from Zoll Medical Corporation of Chelmsford, Massachusetts for an amount not to exceed $95,000.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved second. Any other discussion? How long will it take to get in?
About 4 weeks.
Okay.
I talked to the rep the other day, you know, just that kind of depends on FedEx because that's how they come. And our staff has already been trained on this piece of equipment because we currently have 2. So this will have new monitors on all 4 of our trucks.
Okay. All right, any other discussion? If not, the voice vote, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Number 2.
Item number 2, a resolution authorizing the city of Arkansas City to purchase new bunker gear to fit new hires from Delta Fire and Safety for an amount not to exceed $47,951.08.
Well, as you guys know, we've got a lot of new hires, so we've used up everything we possibly can. A lot of that gear just does not fit them. You got to be able to move in a bunch of different directions, and some of that stuff will kind of split some guys in half. It's a little on the tight side. So we did go with Delta. We've used them in the past. Ark City has used them in the past. Winfield uses them quite a bit. They're very reputable. They get our gear in there pretty quick. Plus they have the loaner agreement. So while we're waiting on the gear to be made for the individuals, we can actually get some gear to the guys now so that they're in a safe environment, safe gear.
How long does that gear last? I mean, is it?
We use it for 10 years and then we have to start looking at replacing. For the majority of the time, I mean, I'm still in my old stuff. I didn't see a need in going out. I mean, buying new gear for me, I mean, it works fine for what I need it to, but unless you get into things like a harsh chemical or, those are the items that we have to be very careful of. But for the most part, though, 10 years, it's its lifespan.
Well, it's kind of a silly question. I'm going to have to ask you. As you gain weight, It is. It's actually a really good question. So the gear that we're looking at right now can be adjusted to certain sizes. Okay.
You can go up and down. Plus, it used to be where it was just a zipper and a button.
Yeah.
And as you gained weight, you needed to lose weight pretty quickly, which is not a bad thing because we want people to be in shape doing this job. But we do have belt systems now that we can put on there so that you can loosen that up quite a bit. Or if you do happen to lose some weight and it's not as tight as what it used to, you can cinch it down too. So they've kind of thought about all that stuff for us. So it's been nice.
So how many new hires we got right now?
Oh, Jesus. Jerry, how many are we at now? I've lost track.
How about a guesstimate?
21.
Wow.
At least 10. I mean, over half the department.
10 of them are probably new.
Probably, yeah. So, and like I said, right now, you know, the whole plan is this fall, I'm sure I don't know if you guys have heard, Mr. Mayberry, our fire marshal over in Winfield, took a job with the chief's position in McPherson. He was a lead instructor for the college as of right now. So we've been working with the college to try to get into teaching for the fire science program. We've got Kenny currently working on that one. So we're going to try at the fall to get our entire shift or our entire station up to Fire 1. And then as soon as that one's done, get them all the way through Fire 2 so we can kind of get all the little bugs worked out, get everybody up to a good certification, and then we can start moving on from there. So we've got those plans sitting and just waiting. But things opened up a little bit faster than what we thought, which was nice.
Yeah.
So getting the guys training in, and unfortunately, like you said, we've had 12 code blues, but look, I mean, for new recruits that have been in here with almost no experience whatsoever, it's sad to say, but we've had a lot of fires too, getting that experience they need. So,
How many bunker gear are you getting with this?
be 6.
6?
Yeah. Yeah, we still had some that would fit the guys, that fit fine. And they're still, you know, some of them are 1 year old, some of them are newer than that. And I think we had one set that was at its 10-year range that we had to replace. So, yeah, it's like everything else. Nothing's cheap when it comes to first response or hospital equipment.
Well, they gotta have it for their safety, you know.
And that's the thing. I mean, none of us want to play with NIOSH if they come in for an injury. So,
Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
I move that we authorize the city of Arkansas City to purchase new bunker gear to fit new hires from Delta Fire and Safety for the amount not to exceed $47,951.08.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and second. Any other discussion on it?
Figure that's $8,000 a suit at 10 years,
well, there's also,
$800 a year, so that's not bad.
well, you gotta remember too, there's also some boots in there because the boots are all wore out. There's some structural firefighting gloves because everybody's hands are different.
No, I was saying it was a good thing. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
when you go over the 10 years, I think it's very,
Thank you.
very reasonable.
Well, we haven't voted yet.
Oh.
Let's go.
I'll stay here for you.
Okay, any other discussion? If not, okay, it's a voice vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
I'll say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Number 5, items for discussion by city commissioners.
Don't have anything.
Nothing, Charlie?
No, I have nothing.
All right.
Well, we're gonna make your job easy today, huh, Randy?
Number 6, comments for the audience of items not on the agenda. Nobody signed up? Wow. All right, 7, city managers updates and reports.
Well, I'll try to make it quick. So we got our property and liability insurance renewal in. We did try to get some additional quotes this year. Travelers declined to quote. When Midwest Public Risk, they're a pool of municipal cities. They just basically said we're going to be quite a bit higher. They knew it already, so they would quote, but they didn't. And so what we came in with was our EMC insurance again, which EMC is a good company and they specialize in municipal policies. And so they do a good job. So we're looking at approximately a $36,000 increase or about a little over 9.6% increase from last year. But there are some changes in the policy with that. We did have a $25,000 wind and hail deductible. They quoted 2 different options that they're not going to offer that anymore. They quoted a $75,000 deductible, which would have been a little cheaper than what we currently have at the 25. And then they quoted a $50,000 deductible, which was just a little bit higher than what we are doing now. So we went with what we propose to go with is the $50,000 deductible. That has so that's another little difference on that too is it's basically $50,000 occurrence except for 2 properties. The Central Shop, it's a $25,000, another $50,000. So if we had a citywide hailstorm, we'd have the $50,000 deductible for almost all of our properties except for the Central Shop, and that would be a separate $50,000 deductible. Once that's replaced, that was replaced and newer, then it would come back under the the occurrence like everything else. And then the city hall building had a little difference on it too because of the type of roof that's on it. So it's a little different than it was in the past. So that's kind of how that's going to work there. And then the other changes to the policy were increasing the crime coverage from $100,000 to $250,000 because like everything else, everything costs more. So crime's going to cost more too than it used to. And the other one is our cyber coverage. We're going to move that from a $500,000 cyber liability to $1 million. Again, if we were to get into where we need to bring in third-party help from the outside, it's that those things rack up really.
Well, we got lucky on the police department thing.
Yeah. So that's what we're looking at on that. So
A question on that $50,000 deductible. Do we have a fund? Are we putting money in a fund so we'll have it in case something happens, or how will that come out of?
yeah. So Jennifer keeps a slush fund. So yes, we would have that. Well, but it's, we keep funds available for emergency type purposes. So yes, we would have those dollars available.
So what's that fall into? I mean, what category would that?
I think it depend on what particular building. If it was citywide, we'd split it up among all the funds. If the water treatment plant was hit, that those funds would come out of the water.
Okay, I see.
And
where it hits.
Yeah. Okay. Street Department B general fund.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got an update on the travel center construction. So we've been waiting on the developer's been waiting on the stormwater pollution protection plan permit. And Chris Minen was contacted today that the holdup on that was they were waiting on they needed an archaeological study and for the property. Well, we already have one, and we already have results from the Historical Society, Kansas Historical Society. So I forwarded that to Chris. He's going to forward it to the KDOT group on that, and hopefully we can get that behind us and get that approved quickly. The plans for the sewer extension are done. And so what we were talking about today is looking at putting it out to bid in 2 weeks, and then have that kind of ready to go. I know the only piece of property that we need to get easement on now would be the school's property. And when we had meetings with Dr. Ballard about that in the past, he wanted to be sure we worked around school schedules and stuff. So now that we're in the end of March, or we're getting real close to the end of school, so I think that'll work out fine. We should be able to do that part of the construction during the summer months when there isn't school in session, and hopefully work around the rec ball that's going on over there too. So
that's going to extend all the way to 6th or C Street.
So it starts with the Williams Way, that dirt road there. So there'll be a manhole there that the Travis Center will connect into. Then it'll go behind Art City greenhouse, and we've already got the easement with them. And then it crosses city properties to the railroad tracks. We'll have to deal with the railroad to go under them, get a permit to go under, and then it'll tie into a manhole that's on the kind of the practice field of the middle school.
Okay.
Just south of the ball diamonds there.
Does Art City Greenhouse want to, do they want to join in that
Hook onto the sewer?
Yeah.
At this point, there wasn't an interest, but we made sure they knew it was available to them if that ever became an issue.
Okay.
I don't know if they have a big use of wastewater there.
Probably not. Probably wouldn't, yeah.
Septic that probably handles what they need.
Yeah.
Is that going to be a direct bore, or are they going to have to just?
It'll be trench except for the railroad. Obviously, we'll have to bore underneath that. Chris was talking about needing probably a 30-inch steel pipe under the tracks to put in a 15-inch pipe, but so that'll be the expensive piece of it to bore under the tracks. But plus the insurance, we'll have to purchase an insurance policy that's usually fairly expensive when you go under railroad tracks. And so that'll be some of the surprise pieces.
Yeah.
Will this line be big enough that when S&O's project goes, that it'll be big enough to handle them at the same time?
Well, so S&O is
a different line.
S&O will tie into the lift station over at Country Club Estates. And then from there, at Country Club Estates, there's a manhole with a pressure line that goes into town. And it goes on the west side of Kansas is where that travels to, ties in with the manhole. So that's where they will tie in at.
If there was further expansion around this travel center, I'm assuming what they're putting in would handle that.
Yeah, they're probably, so that one of the issues with that look is it's really flat there. And Chris was saying some of the design on that was kind of difficult because it is so flat, getting the right slope in the line and for that distance. So anything developed around there and where that manhole's located, they may have to do a pressure line from that property to that manhole, but yeah, there is a way to connect to it. And then, so Jennifer and I and Tiffany have been kind of working on a proposed budget calendar and it's coming up here. So I don't think it'll change much. I think this is pretty much what we'll propose on the budget calendar, but just to kind of have some, kind of start thinking about it and planning about it. But and if you want to see anything else on it, let us know. But we're kind of looking at doing the first kind of the budget retreat on May 31st. We should have most of our projections put together by then, and obviously working with department heads and things like that. Then June 6th, having the work session for the outside agency requests. And then on the 15th of June, we're supposed to receive the preliminary assessed valuation. So we have some more solid numbers to plug in for you guys. And then we'll look at having another budget work session on July 12th. And then by that point, hopefully we have a good solid budget kind of put together that we can get. So then again, so the other thing I want to mention is the R&R. So no matter if you as a commission decide you don't want to exceed the revenue neutral rate, at that July meeting, vote to do the resolution to exceed it so that we have some wiggle room if we need it at the when the actual budget's put in place. And again, it doesn't stop you from actually approving a budget that it adheres to the R&R.
If we approve it, we can wiggle. If we don't approve it, even if we need to wiggle, we can't.
Stuck.
We're just stuck. We can be fiscally responsible and not exceed it, even if it's approved to.
You know, and what we ran into this past year was that the valuations ended up coming in a little lower than what was projected. So the budget that was approved at the R&R level actually was less when it was all said and done because of the valuations weren't as high whenever they did the final ones in November. So it just gives us some protection. Again, you guys control what that budget looks like. And if you decide you want to stick to R&R, that's fine. But in this first vote, we need to, it's very important that the resolution to exceed it's put in place. And then that way you guys have the ability to make minor changes or do some things. And we're just not exactly adhered to the same dollar amount as last year. So, but anyway, just want to remind you guys of that.
Now, on the letters you're sending to the outside agencies, are you going to put in the request that they provide us with why they want the increase or why they want the budget item?
And some accounting from them also.
Yeah, we can do that.
If you don't have accounting, you don't even get looked at.
And then the final document is the updated projects Nick's keeping track of, so that kind of give you an idea where things are on there. The golf tower rehab, the bids are going to start coming in here, I believe, next week on that. So we'll have the bids in and be able to kind of get that moving. So that'll be something that will come before you guys. On the hike bike trail, we haven't heard back from KDOT as to if the last set of plans were approved. They were waiting on the stormwater permit to be approved before they could do the final approval of the plan. So we're still waiting on that. I know Josh has been working with PEC on the master plan for the property up north. So that's kind of pulling together and moving along. And it's the only thing I can really see on here that's kind of pressing right now. Unless you have any other questions on any of the things on there.
What, Lovey Watson Park upgrades, what are we doing out there?
So that was the grant that we got from RISE. And there was a
Kind of like a rotunda?
yeah, kind of a shelter structure. There's some misters, I believe, for summertime. There was some new equipment, some trees. There was new computers at Northwest Community Center, some things like that.
There is some playground equipment going into.
I believe that's correct.
Yeah.
Cameras.
Cameras. And I believe they have those working now, so those are operational. And if we have any more vandalism issues there, we should have good pictures of them doing it. So. And that's all I got.
You want to bring up the net for the deal tomorrow night?
Yes, I believe at Rivers Eagle tomorrow evening, isn't that it? It's 6? I believe it was at 6, wasn't it?
No, 7.
7 is the fentanyl information going to be given to us, I believe, with a KBI agent. So if we can talk it up and get people out there so we all can learn something.
Yeah. We got a fentanyl fund that was sitting there that we can use, I think, down the road for certain educational things.
And it has been used. When Chief Burr was here, he brought in some folks from.
They had to deal at the Burford?
They had.
At the college.
They had at the college.
The Brown Center.
Yeah.
And they had that at the high school.
Yeah. And it was a really powerful program. It had a mother that lost a child to a 15-year-old, I think it was a 15-year-old child to fentanyl. And it had some of the officers that had worked that case. It was a pretty powerful program. And unfortunately, there was hardly anybody there. It was kind of sad that good of a program was that poorly attended. But and so we've done that. It seemed like there was something else. But yeah, those funds are available for.
Yeah, I just looked at it. There's like 32,000 in that fund right now. So, and I think we're supposed to get more as time goes on, I think.
Yeah, it's all tied to those.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's several of those companies that are still paying out. And
That's something we ought to look into. I mean, police or whatever, to get people more educated about that, stuff that's fentanyl. It's terrible stuff out there.
Yeah, and I don't know, with the new chief, I don't know if he has any thoughts or ideas on things that he may be looking at planning forward with that program.
We'll be working on something.
Yeah, so.
Well, tell your neighbors and friends. That's the only way we're going to get people to go to these things is invite somebody.
I'm just bringing that loud that nights and night out, I wonder if we could, we have a lot of kids stuff. Would it be maybe bringing somebody in or I mean, I'm just talking out loud. I don't know if it'd work for that, for that night or not, for that,
We can look into it.
Yeah, I'm just.
Offered out there for an event like that.
Yeah, because you got a big falling there, stuff, and might be something we can do at the Rotunda, or don't have to be very long, but somebody can come in or something to talk about, drugs with their family and kids right there, stuff. And I'm just,
Yeah, I don't know. You guys probably see a little bit of that too, don't you?
That's what we were just talking about. It's been put into so many different things.
Flintstone vitamins, gummies, to give them.
You don't even know. It's hidden, it's distracting. Unless kids, it's just, parents got to make sure, do not take anything from strangers.
do we have, I know the police department, do we have those little kits go around, when when they take that, you're supposed to, what is that thing? Yeah.
Narcan.
I actually got a free case from the state, which is pretty pricey.
So you guys carry them around too? So,
There's
okay.
legislation now that actually was voted on, I believe today, and I haven't got how that, whether it passed or not. It's called the Narcan Leave Behind Program, where EMS agencies are going to leave it behind, because usually if someone needs Narcan, their risk of dying within 24 hours is very high. So legislators want us to leave that behind. You can buy it in vending machines in Wichita. So.
Buy it on Amazon for,
Yeah.
it's under a different name, but it's.
Yeah, it's called Revive. You buy it at Walmart, it's called Revive. The concentrations are a little different and it takes a little longer to work than it does when we give it like intravenously. That legislation was supposed to go to the House today, I believe. There's that. We haven't seen a lot recently. Last year was pretty rough. Knock on wood. But
Knock on wood.
last year was pretty rough, but we haven't really seen much. It hasn't reared its ugly head yet this year yet.
Yeah.
But
Kids aren't out of school yet though either.
yeah, and we started carrying more. We found on one case last year where we didn't have enough. It took everything we had in the ambulance plus what PD had on one case. And that's unheard of. 4 milligrams, usually they snap right out of it, but not this time.
Well, we got a good police department fighting our crime, so that helps.
There you go.
So anybody else got anything good for the goose? No? All right. I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. I should know this, but I'm having a seizure. What's the name of it?